Hello everybody, welcome back to this video. We're gonna be breaking into my new passion planner and also reviewing 2023. At first, I wasn't really sure how I was gonna do this, but the great thing about passion planner is that I like to schedule in things into it. It's just really easy to use, and by no means is this video sponsored. I just used Passion Planner and I discovered it through a YouTube artist who also uses it, so I just kind of picked it up and it just stuck. And the great thing about Passion Planner in general is that it has a monthly and a end of year review. So you start off kind of writing down the intentions that you have for the year or your goals, and it has two checkpoints. One of them is at the midpoint of the year to see where you are, and also they do that for the end of the year. I've also started to use a lot more my Platinum Preppy fountain pen. It feels really nice to use it, and I really like the way that it feels, so I've been using it a lot more. And as you can see here, I'm color coding most of the passion planner because I like to do time blocks. It just makes sense in my head, so I'm just reviewing the final week of the year. And I will say that those who were reading my posts and saw my Instagram stories, thank you again for wishing me best wishes to get better. I spent the final weeks and the final days of the year being sick with COVID. It finally got me, so it sucked a little bit, but we made it work. And here also, the thing that helps me with the passion planner is that they like to have a space where you can focus on the good things that you're grateful for, so that helps me not be so nihilistic with my life. So I try to think of things that brought me joy or things that make me happy, and it helps a little bit, especially whenever you have seasonal depression. And here we're seeing kind of what the monthly reflection looks like. So I'm gonna write the first couple of things that were memorable for me for this month. And we're gonna do the yearly review highlights here, and I did write some things down that stood out to me for this month. And we're gonna take it month by month here, just to kind of see all the things that I did, and then I can give you my final thoughts and reviews of how the month went. So I'm just sort of looking over the goals that I wanted for the year or for the upcoming time, and it just helps me kind of see where I am in progress wise, and I'm checking things off. So for the month of January, I basically was introduced to the Gundam movies compilation. Me and my family also saw Top Gun Maverick finally, after waiting for so long to get a hold of the movie. It was really amazing, I will say. It was way better than I expected. I also finished the bunny illustration, and I will say that I feel really pleased about that. I also finished watching the new reboot of Trigun Maximum with my friend Richie. We had proposed last year to do that, and then things happened. And then we never got back into it. So we finally finished watching the first couple of episodes. It was incredible to watch. It definitely felt like it was Trigun, but better. It definitely felt like Bash. I really like the way that things were, and I'm not alone in that fandom. Apparently, people do ship Bash and Wolfwood a lot. So it was interesting. I also, in this month, that was really memorable for me, was helping my coworker Gracie with an event that she needed to go to, and it was a work-related event, but it was at Asian Society here, and it was interesting to be able to help out and table and stuff like that. I surprised that it was in the month of January, but it was fun and I saw something new, something different, and it's giving me a little bit of experience as well to sort of figure out what that looks like. And as you see here throughout the video, I'm taking notes as to like major events that happen in the month, so that way I have something to refer back to. And there is always like a monthly thing happening in each of the months. For February, we were watching the Grammys with my parents. They were okay. I also did a lot of progress on Legends Arceus, because I like got through most of the story, and I actually don't like Pokemon Arceus. Not because the story is bad, but it's just it gives me so much motion sickness that I'm not really sure what the hell. I also rewatched the Beauty and the Beast with my friend Marissa. We are trying to do more movie nights for that sort of thing, and also watch the Metropolis movie. March wasn't really eventful for me. It was just really stressful. I got into the Stuff Art Show at work, and also started reading the Jichu arc in Rurouni Kenshin. April was a little bit more eventful because my brother-in-laws were in town, so we had a really fun time going to the beach and having just a family day. There, I also started looking into art conservation. There was a volunteer party. I also had to like go visit my mom at the hospital because she was passing kidney stones, and that wasn't great. And then April was also Bakugo's birthday. For May, there wasn't a lot of stuff. I basically was just preparing to visit my friends later in summer. I attended the Japanese festival with friends. I bought Tears of the Kingdom, which is a really interesting game. I started setting up the studio like properly. I watched a lot of the SG the Q because it was also happening stuff too. I did the Kenshin redraws, which are uploaded in this YouTube channel, which was really interesting to do, and I think I want to move in that direction more in my sketchbook. I also drew the Anistars fan art. I bought the ticket to go see my friends. For June, I like prepped everything, so I bought the ticket to see my friend Anistar, and I mean Highbloods, I think is what they go by on YouTube. They do audios, character audios, so I went to go see them this summer. It was really nice to just spend a couple of days there with them. It was really chill. I also like finished my therapy session in June, and I also went and like hanged out with my friends at the mall. I normally don't get to do that. I never did growing up, so it felt really nice to experience that with friends, because they also were wondering like how things were when I went to go see my friends in Alabama. It was an interesting time, but you know, I'm still trying to like get through everything there. For July, another friend of mine commissioned me to do the Zelda Knight and Ganon fan art. I watched Strange Fake. I also practiced a tour with my parents for work because I needed to do that. I finished the Ellen Sarah's fan art. That's also when we had Oppenheimer and Barbie. So I saw the Barbie movie. I have thoughts about it, but it was incredible just seeing the Barbie movie. I still miss that I couldn't get the beach ball for the drink. I know it's pre-ordered and I can like buy it online, but you know, it would have been nice to just be able to like get that at the theater. I also bought Slow Damage, which is a game I'm trying to actively get through, and I will talk about it later, like what the resolutions are in regards to that at the very end of the video, so keep posted on that. On July, I also finished Arceus Commission, and I also got caught up with Bleach, the 1,000-Year Blood War, there you go. And I caught up with Eden Zero, the second season. I'm having a little bit of trouble with anime right now, but I will explain that to when I get there. For my birthday month, August, I caught up with Bungo Stray Dogs. I basically binge watched the entirety of season 3, 4, and 5. So much happened. Oh my god. So much happened. It was interesting, like, doing that rewatching with Bungo Stray Dogs because I didn't keep up with the manga, so I just like ended up watching the anime, and it was a lot. I had questions, but also the plot twist, y'all. The plot twist. They had me on my toes. I also watched Princess Mononoke for the first time. I see the appeal for it. I had questions, but then again, it's also one of those really like late, early Ghibli movies. I built Metal Garurumon. I had out with a lot of my friends for my birthday. I was booked the entire month. In September, I celebrated my coworker Gracie's birthday. It was an interesting time. We were also picking up on with the school year at work, so there wasn't a lot of stuff that I got to finish. But in October, it was a little bit more eventful because I wanted to do some stuff that I couldn't do during summer because just things didn't line up or stuff like that. Like, I was determined to have a good year with stuff. So in October, I went to the zoo with my family for the Halloween Boo. It was an interesting time because it didn't plan out the way that I wanted it to, but we still managed to make it work. I also dropped off my MacBook for battery maintenance, which I've never done, so it was a little bit scary to do that, but you know, it taught me a lot more on how to use the iPad during that time. I actually started to organize stuff in the studio because by now in October I finally got like the main furniture that I needed, so I started to move stuff from my room into the studio. And I also experienced my first like art market at the university, and it wasn't great. I did sell a lot of things, but it definitely gave me a perspective of like the direction that I wanted to move into. For November, I went to the Lantern Festival with my friend Ricardo, and it was nice to just be able to chill and just experience a day out and not be so caught up on things. It was also like a good like emotional reset before seasonal depression will actually kick me in my butt. And that's also when we got Netflix with my parents. Finally, they got us, and we started watching this year's of Queen Charlotte for Bridgerton, I think it was. My parents got hooked on it, and it was the first time that I ever saw them get hooked on something like that. I also started finishing up the sticker prints, and I helped a friend with his assignment for class. And for December, we finished the Queen Charlotte thing. I spent a lot of time both in November and in December having art dates with my friend Rachel. She goes by Etheria here, or Etheria here on YouTube. I'll link her channel down below. I finished reading the Kenshin manga, or at least the volume that I needed. I also like spent a lot of money during Black Friday in November, and I started setting up and using this stuff in December. So I got my new phone. I finished the Mitsuri bed illustration that I just recently posted. I also rewatched Robots and Tokyo Godfathers with a couple of friends, and I watched 2 docuseries on Netflix because, again, in December I was really sick, so I really couldn't do a lot of stuff, so I ended up consuming a lot more media in December. And in here you're seeing the end of the year review, and I will take a pause to just kind of regather my thoughts about the end of the year review, because even though there was a lot of events that happened this year, I also didn't feel exactly satisfied with the way the year went, considering how 2022 finished and how 2023 went through. So now that I have hindsight and perspective being in 2024, I can safely say a couple of things that happened in 2023, and I'll read some of the stuff from the review here for you guys, so you can see a little bit of the perspective of like where I'm coming from. I honestly didn't feel too great about this past year, especially because during the holidays when I was sick, things just kind of like hit me really hard, so I need to take time to adjust, because most of the time I was just kind of trying to survive day by day with work happening, and just, I don't know, like, I just didn't feel comfortable being in my own skin, just coming off from a really big friend fight. And I've been mentioning on and off about like that sort of thing. It was pretty devastating how things ended up with this friend who I cared a lot, so I really didn't get a chance to really like let some of those things go. I do want to say that I'm very surprised about how things went throughout the year. I feel like I did a lot more. I got a lot of more freedom after coming from a toxic friendship, and it gave me a lot of perspective on about how I handle things, and it kind of hit me a little bit hard over the holidays, again because I was sick and just I didn't have time to really like release all of that energy in a better paced way. So it definitely helps a lot that this upcoming year is full of possibilities and other kind of things that I definitely feel like I want to explore more. So as you saw on the cover, the Passion Planner is beautiful. They redesigned a lot of different things, and they added what things I value the most. So I'm slowly kind of just trying to think about what that means for me. So I want to be able to live a better, honest life with myself, because I haven't been really honest with how I felt in the past year. So I'm trying to do that better. I also want to spend more time doing things that I enjoy, and also to be able to achieve things that I want with the people who I feel comfortable with. And as you saw earlier in the video, I was flipping through the back pages. I also feel like I'm wasting like space. Not in the sense that I don't use the Passion Planner enough, but like there's a lot more spaces in the Passion Planner, especially in the back pages, because they provide blank pages and dotted rule pages. So I feel like I'm not using that enough. Like there's stuff that I feel like I could work on, and that's sort of kind of what I wanted to highlight here, that I do have goals like for myself during my lifetime, in the next couple of months, in the next year. And one of the goals is to actually invest more in my online presence and create more and be more consistent in building my brand up, because I definitely am getting tired of working corporate. It's difficult, and I am doing my best to just kind of deal with it, but I do feel like my potential is here doing art. But because of the friend fallout, there's a lot more messiness to just doing the thing. And in one of my goals, I did write that I want to have a better relationship with art, and I'm trying to rebuild what that means. And just to be vulnerable here for a second, there is a lot of more complexities to it. Rhea, and she has like the full context of it, and even her was like, what the fuck, like they really fucked you over. And I'm like, yeah. So just to kind of like give you a little bit of perspective of the planning, there is a lot of planning that happens, and I am like writing down in red kind of like what actionable steps I can take, or like what are the steps or the order of event that needs to happen in order to fulfill that thing. So I definitely want to ask a lot more friends and creatives that I follow to help me figure out what a sketchbook feels like for them. Like, what do they do with it? Also, like, how much I invest into art daily, or if I'm going to give myself a couple of days to just rest, do something else, and then get back into it. Also, like, explore more things that I really want to talk about and draw and share with you guys here on the channel. Product ideas, that sort of thing. So in the yearly overview, I'm circling in the dates that I'm supposed to keep myself accountable and update the social media. So I try to do 2 updates a month. Also, like 1 video a month for YouTube, and one post on social media. And yeah, like there's plans. It's just I have to work through really some yucky feelings. I do want to point out that this is the return of the trusty handy dandy cute as shit washi tape dispenser float. I am going to be using it to just fill out some of the back pages that I was sharing with you guys here. And the Passion Planner really has upgraded the last couple of years. They provided more stickers that they include from last year. So I have used some of them, and I think I will use more of them. I'm getting over my sticker fear of not using them, so I'm just going to use them just to make the space a little bit more cozy. And I think I will be doing some more like traditional videos like this for you guys, especially with the back pages and what I'm going to be doing. So there's going to be 4 really long trackers that I'm going to be like setting up for you guys right now, along with one that is the main focus of my year this year, which will be what does it mean to keep a sketchbook, or what does a sketchbook mean to me. Ideally that would be something that's a very simple question, but because I'm in such a difficult place right now with art, it's difficult. So I've been asking a lot of my friends that do have sketchbooks, like, what does a sketchbook mean for you? And that's also a question that I want to ask you guys who follow me and who follow other artists or are artists yourselves. What does a sketchbook mean to you? And it's a loaded question because I want to develop a better relationship with my sketchbook, because I have way too many sketchbooks and they're not getting filled and I don't know what to do with them, and I feel like I need to start back at square one. I feel like I need to rebuild my relationship with art in order to be able to produce stuff that I'm happy with, produce stuff that I could potentially bring customers in whenever I do build a shop, and that should be a strong foundation for me to start building my art career and not feel like I'm being shackled by the words that were thrown at me at that friend fallout, because it was messy. There was a lot of things that me and that friend, or I guess that person, argued over that touched a lot of stuff that I identify with, and it could be a red flag. I am working on it, but a lot of the things that were said to me are not true, or they're twisted in a way where it kind of was gaslighty and shifting blame and guilt and jealousy, most of all. So it's difficult to parse through that, because the way that we parted was the worst way possible, and I'm having a lot of insecurities about that. So one of the big things that I want to focus on this year is my relationship with art. The other thing too, as I was going through the list of months, is that I didn't consume as much media this past year as I normally would, because again, that friend fallout touched on a lot of different aspects of my life, including the media that I consume, how I consume it, the things that I really vibe with, and things that I'm like super excited about, things that didn't fly with them, and they just kind of like spat it on my face. So I also wanted to set up a yearly reading list, because one of my goals last year was that I wanted to read 10 books a year, and I wanted to get back into reading for the longest, because it was a hobby that brought me a lot of joy, and I thought, you know what, maybe that could be a better coping mechanism for the stressors in my life. And I was able to meet that goal. I ended up reading 13 books last year, including manga volumes and just like self-help books, and also like art history books. Like I was reading a bunch of different things, from like how to like build a better Patreon, like art history books, artist techniques, manga. I did try to get into some fiction books. I couldn't get into it, but whatever. Regardless, like I still want to continue the goal of reading a set amount of books this year, but I want to half it to 7, because it was stressful trying to cram in time to read a book when it was supposed to be like a relaxing thing. So instead of reading 14 books, I'm gonna be reading 7, and I'm gonna try to like space it out throughout the year, and it could be a combination of manga books, self-help books, art history books, journals, things that just, you know, are interesting to me, because I want to explore more things to bring into my art, because I feel like I want to draw things that I'm excited about instead of following trends or things that are popular. Not because like I don't want to grow, I do want to grow, but I want to be excited about making rather than feeling some type of way because I'm making, if that makes sense. For those who know the full context, you know, like you're seeing me try to attempt to do this. And thank you guys again for your support in that sense. You've been incredible. I feel so supportive because of the feedback that you have given me on DMs and on the side. So thank you again for putting up with my BS right now. But yeah, I feel like I need to consume more media and figure out more things that I feel excited about, because I'm not so tied to this person that basically like spat in my face because I threw a bitch fit about work, even though the person did the same thing and they would get comforted, but when I did it, it was like all hell broke loose. So, you know, it's a little bit of that. But I want to explore more things that I'm excited about, or things that like are interesting to me, because I want to find out who I am. And it sounds so like an identity crisis, but it's not. I have an idea of who I am, but also I don't have a good secure sense of like things that are okay to consume. And it's not anything like wildly problematic, it's just I don't know what I can share without getting some sort of feedback towards me about me, even though like things are fine. I don't know if it sort of conveys the kind of anxiety that I'm having right now. Like, it's a social anxiety that I'm trying to parse through. But yeah, so there's the reading list that I want to like go back into reading, and I've completed some books series that I used to be really exciting for me when I was young, but I never like read them all the way through. So I'm gonna read through those. I'm gonna read through manga that I haven't really like read or touched or you know, stuff. So I'm gonna read manga. I'm gonna read some fiction books from when I was a teenager. Like they were gifted to me, and I just never got into them. But now that I have the complete series, I have an excuse now to like actually read the entire thing all the way through and then formulate thoughts about them. And also there's the topic of anime, which is why I pulled out all of my stickers, because I've come to realize I use something that is more inviting when it's decorated in a way of things that I enjoy. So I built this back pages with that in mind, because I feel like it's better for me to see a page that is inviting and welcoming and fun and just carefree, and I actually use that a lot more. So I'm putting down a sticker for Bakugo because I love him. He's my husband. I will not take no for an answer. I also like pulled out another husband from like my childhood, which was Kai Hiwari from Beyblade, and it's so cringe, but he's cute, I guess. And then just one like sticker panel screenshot from Ponyo, because I just felt like the color palettes would work considering what I was doing. But yeah, I'm like collaging, I guess, but it feels better. And this year I do wanna like catch up on a couple of things that I'm excited about that have nothing to do with this particular like shitty person who ruined me. There are some things that I do want to catch up, and I do want to like use that time as self-care of like me consuming something to get my mind off of things, from like everyday stressors or like work related things that are just fucking me over, or just things in general that like if I need a mental break, I feel like watching this particular set of media would help me. And this is the list that I'm going to try to work on throughout the year of like catching up and watching and stuff like that. And then also because again we just recently got Netflix, I want to like explore some things on Netflix. I'm big on documentaries and I always enjoy them, so I'm gonna try to like record the other things that I picked up along the year that I never really expected myself to like think about, because I guess my brain works in like two different ways. One is like premeditated, where like I say I'm gonna do a thing and I do the thing and I just like record that I did the thing. Or there's just something that rarely my brain decides to like take a turn and say, oh, we heard this is interesting, binge watch it, like just on impulse, do the thing. But I do want to keep record of like, oh, this is a thing I picked up impulsively because like I heard it was interesting and I wanted to check it out without like thinking, okay, this day and this time I'm gonna like set time aside to watch 3 episodes of Event and Zero, for example, or like 3 episodes of like Naruto. So with that in mind, I just want to like, you know, be able to record that and say that I consumed a lot more media that speaks to me in a way. And then the final 2 trackers that I want to talk about are the video game track list that I have, because I do want to play some video games that I have never shared with anybody, and I will be streaming some of them. I am currently working through Tales of Symphonia, as you guys have heard in the past, and just colloquially, I'm a big Tales fan, so I am trying to share a little bit more of that on my Twitch channel. So if you want to like see that happening, you're more than welcome to follow me on Twitch. I try to like be engaging, and also because I set up the new studio now, I have a space to also stream digital art without any lag. So I'm trying to build a schedule of like art days and game days. And again, because this person was so hurtful, there's also a couple of games that I am having struggles with. I can't touch Pokemon, even though I fucking hate it. Like, I hate that I can't touch Pokemon. So I won't be playing any Pokemon. I won't be playing any of that sort of thing. I will be playing some other Must and racing games, mainly Digimon, because that's like super precious to me. So I will try to finish some Digimon games. Definitely all the Tales that I own, because I do want to show that to you guys, because Tales is amazing and I feel like it's underrated. As well as some other games that I haven't started, or I left them halfway done, that person is not related to, because I'm struggling a lot with associating this person with a lot of things that I enjoy, and it feels sour, so it's difficult to kind of unmesh all of that, as well as just, you know, find out more things that I like. And I want to keep a record of like what days I play, just to see what my consistency is, because a lot of friends too like get back into telling me like, oh, you don't play fast enough, sort of thing. So yeah. And the final tracker that I didn't record to is the art list of stickers and product ideas that I have, and also like fan art that I want to make. I do want to like make fan art that I feel excited about. And also a lot of friends have suggested, oh, why don't you draw this for me, or like I'm really excited of the idea of like seeing you do this character in your style, that sort of thing, or just, you know, something silly like that to just fill out the sketchbooks and like post art to get more growth and content out there. So it's a work in progress, and for those of my friends who are watching this and know about all those initiatives, thank you for keeping me accountable. And also thank you for putting up with like me just being vulnerable and just like trauma dumping a little bit. I hope that this year is a little bit better to myself and to just be a little bit kinder. I do hope that I can start making the steps towards leaving a corporate world and start being a active artist in the field, like pursuing creative pursuits, making art and things that I'm excited about, and like just finding other venues of making money. So if you want to be part of that, thank you. If you don't, that's fine. I'm gonna continue just grinding at it, putting my head down low, just focus on work and trusting the process, even though it's terrifying. But yeah, thank you so much for listening to this 35-minute 40 ramble. And a huge thank you to my patrons they've made the studio space what it is. I've saved up all the money that they provide to me via Patreon and commissions as well. If you are interested in a commission, let me know. I will hit you up and we can set something up. But yeah, super huge thanks to my patrons, my 3 patrons, Lisa's, Richard, and HHHH, as well as Edith. You guys make things so much better. You guys give me hope that it can be done and it is a viable means to an end of living. And they made the studio so much cozy because of the money they provided that I've used to make the space what it is. If you wish to support me, you're more than welcome to check out my Patreon. They get videos ahead of time. They get things when I complete them. They get updates from me once a month, definitely, on things that I'm going to be working throughout the month, as well as some other additional perks. And a Discord server. If you're on Discord, hit me up. Like, there's the Discord servers there for whips and some other things. If you listened to this all the way through, thank you so much, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. I hope you guys stay warm and stay cozy, and I hope that you are having a great day wherever you are. Thank you again for staying with me throughout this video. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. Have a good one.